Welcome to SZMOVY. You know, it's your boy, none other than. And welcome to Manufactured Consciousness. If you watched the introduction, as mentioned previously, this is our official excerpt. And this is also an original, you know, I like to say series because like the Lust Grid, Manufactured Consciousness is going to be one of those original series where like I break down, just various things in this matrix. And as I mentioned, I have notes. Why I have notes is because I want to give you the highest and most precise breakdown, and you deserve to have cohesive breakdowns and not things to be scattered everywhere. It's always nice to have things off the dome, so on and so forth, but this makes it proper. And if you want access to my notes, as mentioned, feel free to email me, and I'll send it up to you. Like I said, I'm very transparent. And the Patreon is up and live, so feel free to join. I have very minimal things in there, but like I said, as the community grows, I'm going to have deeper protocols, deeper downloads, and exclusive content that I can't always post on YouTube due to their guidelines and stuff like that. But hey, enough yada yapping, and let's go on ahead and get into it. So, manufactured consciousness. You've subscribed to false identities, an original SZMOVY transmission. Woo! Let me take a sip to that. And before y'all think I'm sipping, this is burdock tea with lemongrass and lemon and cinnamon. It's hidden. You don't drink on this platform, but if you do, just do it responsibly. But we don't do it on his platform, so. Definition: manufactured consciousness, an imposed identity construct created through unconscious compliance with external systems. Your self wasn't discovered. It was established through suggestions, survival patterns, and mass hypnosis. It is not natural evolution. It's the byproduct of trauma, repetition, and unsuppressed memory loops. Every time you accept a loop/label to feel safe or validated, you stitched another layer onto the false self. The world doesn't show you who you are. It teaches you who to become so you can be controlled. Average people think they grew up. Sovereign ones realize they were molded and now must ungrow. So this is very critical, and like I tell you guys all the time, like, you have to be very mindful, especially in this Matrix game. And the reason why I deem it a subscription is because a lot of these labels, a lot of these identities that we identify with and that we've basically, like I said, for lack of a better term, subscribed to and accepted are detrimental and are labels and loops that don't benefit us in any type of cohesive way. And like I said in the introduction, you can call yourself anything under the sun, but the second it's empowering and the second it's something that's going to actually allow you to be your true authentic self and allow you to grow as a person on every level, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, it's a problem. So the core idea, the deeper layer, the matrix reality rewards those who comply, not those who are real. You're taught to chase identities the world finds useful. Like I've mentioned before, they want to utilize you at every single level. And the second they cannot utilize you, you become problematic. They want to strip you of your resources and strip you of your true identity. Being real often looks like a failure in a world addicted to illusion. The default personality most people wear is a defensive costume, not a conscious choice. Being yourself isn't about personality. It's about returning to the pre-coded frequency. This is an unspoken truth. Most of your personality is just a strategy you built to not be hurt again. And like I said, There's nothing wrong with protecting yourself, and there's nothing wrong with shielding yourself. But the deeper you begin to investigate, and the deeper you begin to tap into your analytical mind and analyze this matrix system, the more you realize you're like, whoa, like this isn't my identity. This is a manufactured consciousness. Installation methods. Here's a deeper dive. The early childhood conditioning. From age 0, so from conception up until 7, the brain is in theta state, hypnosis mode. The full development and environmental absorption of the subconscious mind. Like I've said in many other downloads, and like you'll always hear here, this is the most critical point and the most critical aspect of your life outside of what happens past this. You download reality without filter. You're essentially a sponge. Your parents' fears, wounds, and projections become your truth. Number 2, religious and cultural templates. Heaven/hell, your behavior control via fear. So a lot of individuals do things out of fear, not knowing that fear is, in my eyes and in my mind, are attributes that are not of our true divine self. I have this inner knowing that we came here, we manifested, we returned here, not to be fearful of anything, but to know that when you stand in truth and when you're sovereign, you can overcome anything and everything that you encounter. But the whole heaven and hell behavior control thing is literally just based out of fear. Okay? Ethic trauma. Inherited generational plane plus identity defense. Culture gives you pride, but it also gives you limits. You're not your skin tone, your zip code, or your rituals. Like I say all the time, do as you please. But the more you begin to investigate, like I said, the more you do a deep dive and you look at the religions and you look at the behaviors and you look at these groups, the more you realize, for lack of a better terms, 95% of it is to control your consciousness and is to give you a consciousness that's very, for lack of better terms, faulty. Because the second you flip it, the second you want to advance and be better than what it was, problema. Hey. Media algorithms. You're not watching your screen is watching you. Algorithms study your wounds and give you content to reinforce them. Social media doesn't show you who you are, it shows you who you're expected to become. That's why I say all the time, and you guys will see it on my platform, you ever notice how like on platforms like Instagram, for instance, or like, Facebook, like they push a lot of destructive content and they push a lot of content that just keeps you in your survival chakras and your lowest chakras. Now, as we're becoming sovereign and as we're becoming emotionally sovereign, this isn't like those things are out there, right? You can see them and choose to tap into it. But what is mind-boggling is how these algorithms are going to typically push what is destructive rather than what is receptive and is going to assist you. Am I saying, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is pay attention and be mindful and utilize these tools and these apps and these algorithms very wisely. Do not be used by them. That's all I'm saying. Trauma looping. Every unhealed wound equals a subconscious instruction. Every unhealed wound equals a subconscious instruction. What does that mean? What it means, what you choose to not heal from, what you choose to not grow from, you're giving your subconscious mind an instruction that it's okay and that program is allowed to run. You become funny, quiet, or tough to survive, not because it is who you are. Think about that. Think about that. Trauma is an author. If you don't delete the script, you'll keep living its story. And then that's when you get people who go throughout their life saying, that's just how life is. That's just how life is. No, it's manufactured consciousness. Repetition plus emotion. Your subconscious mind can't tell real from fake. It responds to emotion and repetition. That's why abuse, heartbreak, and emotional trauma install deeper than facts ever will. False identities with energetic motives. We have the identity, what it looks like, and the energetic truth hidden beneath. So the nice guy identity, you know, what it looks like, overly agreeable, no boundaries. But the energetic truth hidden beneath it is fear of rejection and self erasure. The hot girl identity, what it looks like, hypersexualized and self image. The energetic truth hidden beneath it, validation addiction with validation addiction and worth confusion. Okay. The provider archetype, what it looks like, the workaholic, the self-sacrificer, the energetic truth hidden beneath it. I must earn love and self-abandonment. Victim archetype, what it looks like, which is blame and hopelessness, but what the energetic truth is power avoidance and easier to be pulled. Pitted. Sorry about that. The hunter archetype. So always grinding, never resting. Fear of stillness and trauma unsuppressed. And then you have the spiritual one. Over ascended, love light only. Like strictly just love and light, love and light, love and light, love and light. Okay? Escapism and denial of inner shadow. All of these start as survival mechanisms, but become prisons if you never stop performing. And like I said, take what resonates and discard the rest. But the more you do a deep dive and the more you start analyzing these things, the more you realize these are the epitome of manufactured consciousness. So who benefits from you tapping into these archetypes 100% and not moving from the soul? Your suffering is profitable. Your clarity is not. Entities, seen and unseen, feed off emotional cycles. Pain creates loosh. I'm going to have a whole loosh video for you guys explaining what it is. Spiritual entity extraction. Manufactured personas create predictable behavior. Easy to farm, exploit, and sell. Governments need obedient personalities. If you really remember who you are, you'll stop asking for permission. Sovereign beings are impossible to be governed. Like I said, ask yourself, right? Ask yourself, seldom are you attacked when you're a shell yourself. But you're attacked or called weird or called difficult when you're what? True to yourself, sovereign, independent, standing on morals and principles. And I don't mean independent as you don't need a man or you don't need a. I'm not saying that. I'm saying independent in your authenticity and in your personality. Because I don't want people in the comments, oh, because see, your brain's already out the window. Consumerism survives by you missing. By making you dissociate. Consumerism survives by making you disassociate with your natural self. So you're constantly in this manufactured race of feeling like you need this or you need that or you want this or you want that, and if you don't have it, you're just not it. When that's the trap in and of itself. There's nothing wrong with having things, dude. I have some of the nicest things. You feel what I'm saying? I upgrade a lot of stuff all the time, but I always remind myself, I am this person with or without it, and I cannot be swayed. Okay? Insecurity is the engine. You're trained to self-medicate with purchases and personas. Consumerism is a double-edged sword. It's not just buying things. It can also be a persona. Okay, therapy and healing industries. Not all bad, but the cycle often reinforces identity based suffering. Some are healed just enough to function, but never enough to transcend. Sheesh. Symptoms of the manufactured mind. You're addicted to labeling yourself. You need constant input to feel like you. You feel drained after social situations. You adjust your tone, values, and truth depending on who's watching. You fear solitude because your real self feels unfamiliar. You make pain, you mistake pain for depth and chase chaos for passion. But ask yourself, if nobody was watching, if nobody was watching, who would you be? Who would I be? Ask yourself that question. And then that's when you're going to start unraveling and really start, you know what I mean? Here's the good stuff. Unsubscribe protocol. Like I said, you subscribe to these archetypes and you subscribe to this consciousness, but it's not yours. Okay, practical plus spiritual steps. Number one, audit the inner dialogue. Is this my thought or someone else's voice I've mistaken as mine? Trace it to the origin. Is it from family, TV, trauma, or religion? I'm going to tell you 1,555%. Your higher self, your oversoul, the essence, the source, will always guide you or always lead you towards improving yourself and empowering and amplifying yourself. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Because people are like, oh, I don't know who to trust, or I don't know. I'm telling you, it's not here to destroy you. It's not here to make you suffer your entire long suffering. No, you're not here to suffer your whole life. You're not here to just no. Identify the origin. Identify the origin and be very mindful that sometimes we mistaken progress for extensive pain, long suffering. For how long, bro? I need to grind. For how long? I need to get out the mud. For how long? Name the operating system. This is the prove you're enough script again. Okay? Once named, it can't sneak past you in disguise. Once you're able to name the operating system and name the mechanism, you can thus take your power back. Withdraw energy from the old self. Don't argue with it. Starve it out. Let the mask rot from lack of attention. I say this all the time. Attention and intention. And then what are you? And then the third pillar. This is my trinity. Attention, and love. But where people get it mixed up, they do attention and intention and then fear or poverty or hate. Whatever you focus on with attention, and if your intentions are there, that's the frequency that you cultivate. So stop focusing on what is destroying you. It will always be there. That's why we're saying starve it out. Starve it out. Rituals of return. Okay? Fasting to disrupt dopamine loops. Journaling from higher self POV. Like I said, your higher self, or like I like to say, the oversoul, source, the true divine in you does not want you to suffer and does not want you to be disempowered and weak. Not on a strength, but just weak on a mental and spiritual level. It wants you to be amplified. It wants you to have strength. It wants you to have courage. It's that simple. Like, that's how you know, that's not my energy. That's not me. That's not who and it's not even about always being happy and know it. No. It's knowing exactly, right, what is true of you being your true authentic self. Okay, because I don't want people to get it twisted. Be like, oh, silence and solitude to hear your real voice. I don't like being alone. I don't like sitting alone. Burn old affirmations if they came from fear. Okay, so you have to really dissect this and be conscious with yourself and just be honest with yourself, because a lot of times we like to blame life for the manufactured conscience that we have, but we never take the time for solitude. We never take the time, just 5 minutes a day, writing down what we'd like to see for the day, scripting. We don't even like to just reflect. We're always caught up and distracted in things that don't benefit us. So you have to honestly be honest with yourself and just ask yourself these things like, what am I running from? What am I hiding from? Like, there, I'm not gonna go there. We'll get there. Design the new identity consciously. Choose traits from your spirit, not your programming. Speak and act from the version of you that never needed saving. Like I said, and you guys see it pinned in my in the beginning of my channel. I'm not here to save nobody. We're not here to save anybody. We're here to be mirrors of empowerment and to assist one another, but knowing that you are your true authentic self, and knowing that you have the capability to reinforce and reinvent yourself. So think about that, right? Speak and act from the version of you that never needed saving. That's living from the end. That's literally living from the end. Choose traits from your spirit, not from your programming. People say, I've been saying affirmations all day and I've been doing this and I've been doing that and I've been doing this, I've been doing that. But what are your actions showing you? What are you doing on a daily basis? How are you feeling throughout the day? The original self. Essence. I've been saying it. You existed before your birth certificate. Before the name, gender, race, trauma. There was awareness. Your frequency with a face, not the role with the script. The manufactured mind is terrified of the real you because it knows it would be erased. Your power is in not what you do, it is what you remember. Final reminder with metaphysical charge. Manufactured consciousness is a spell. The real you is the caster, not the spell. Wake up, cancel the subscription, and return to broadcast as you. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me on this installment. And like I said, it's very simple when you think about it. And the more you think about it, the more you realize, like, wow. Like I said in the intro, they ran a lick on everybody. You feel me? Like, I'm going to say this, I'm going to let y'all go. Just ask yourself these questions. What am I indulging in? What am I reviewing every day? What am I tapping into that is pulling me towards my authentic self or my manufactured self? And the more you start taking notes, like a mental note, you don't got to physically take notes, but the more you start taking mental notes and reviewing these things, the quicker you are to tap into your true authentic self. And like I said, it's not about perfection, but it's about actually making the conscious effort and the conscious decisions, feelings, mind states, and knowing that that aspect of you is out there. Like I said, the original self. The original self. So now thank you guys. It just feels amazing. I feel amazing, and I'm excited for where this platform is gonna go and just how impactful things are gonna be. And but without further ado, like, if you made it this far, you're a real one. But if you clicked off, it's all love. But it's been your boy SZMOVY. Like I said, if you would like these notes, tap in with me. And if you are a Spanish speaker or you speak Mandarin Chinese, please go ahead and reach out to me. My email is below. UI SZMOVY is becoming a multi-linguistic and lingual platform, and these messages and transmissions must be in all platforms. So tap in with me. Let's eat together. Let's make some things happen, and we out. Yeah!